Simulation Football League action tonight, live south of the border in Estadio Matt Wilson as the Mexico City Aztecs welcome the Fort Worth Toros to town to take on each other in a battle. And Fort Worth has won 5 of the last 5 matchups. Joining me in the booth tonight is Brandon. Brandon, what does Mexico City have to do tonight to get this done?
Well, I think when we talk about the Aztecs, the first thing that comes into your mind, obviously, is that passing attack led by Jordan Sipe. You know, he's tied for the league lead right now in touchdowns this season with 12. He's thrown 15 interceptions, though. I think really ball security is going to be a really big key here for the Aztecs tonight. You know, you can't turn the ball over too often, especially against a Fort Worth team that really does punish mistakes very well indeed.
South Division has open waters right now. Houston losing earlier tonight. Fort Worth and Mexico City right behind them. The Headhunters fall to 5-2. Fort Worth with a win would be 5-2 and have the head-to-head currently over Houston. They beat them back in week 4. Mexico City at 3-3, trying to play spoiler and put themselves in that conversation. Alamo City and Louisiana on the bottom of the division, watching this game very closely. Ramos Lynn and Joshua Durr in the stats truck. Mexico City will receive to start this one, and we are underway. Return here for the boys in green will come out across the 20, out to the 23, and that is where this offense will get going. Jordan Sipe, the quarterback for Mexico City.
You know, Jordan Sipe, as I said, has had a good start so far this season. 12 touchdowns, leading the league at the moment. 15 interceptions, so needs to work on that ball security a little bit. But you also got to look at, Hall of Famer Ray Bentley is in this backfield. They might want to try and get him a really heavy load of touches so far tonight.
4th best scoring offense in the league here in Mexico City, and they'll start with a run that goes nowhere. Loss of 2 for the Hall of Famer Ray Bentley.
It was a very aggressive play there from Fort Worth to start off this game. E.K. Vincent really in the backfield quickly there, and you saw those linebackers come off the edge immediately. They're really focusing on that contain and trying to shut down the outside running game early. Could be a big key point here for this Fort Worth defense.
2nd down, Sipe drops, fires a laser, and the receiver spelling was already on the ground, and I'm not sure how to unpack that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, Jordan Sipe's already going down in the middle of throwing that ball there, and I think he's honestly a little bit lucky. Ben Stone was standing there basically, and the ball, I think, hit him like in the legs. If he reaches down a little bit early, has some faster reactions, we could be talking about a really early interception.
Argument could be made that the referee lost his flag in his pocket somewhere. Sipe on 3rd down fires into traffic. Incomplete, was looking for spelling again, and Fort Worth has a quick 3 and out. Remington James in the coverage.
In that time, James was really close to getting an interception there. It was thrown a little bit behind him, so not able to really get to it, but a very rough opening drive here for the Aztecs. The Toros have really stamped their authority so far defensively, and of course, Jordan Sipe really is going to have to be careful here, because if he starts throwing more of those dangerous balls, keeps turning the ball over, things could get out of hand depending on how this game goes, especially if the running game's not able to get established.
Fort Worth, 10th best defense in the league, only giving up 19 points per game. They get 3 and out and a fair catch called for. They're going to start with really good field position for Marcus Dunhill in this offense.
Yeah, and another offense that's done pretty well so far this season. Fort Worth has a decent offense in themselves. Marcus Dunhill has 10 touchdowns so far this season. Also has a negative touchdown to interception ratio at the minute with 11 interceptions, but definitely takes care of the ball a little bit better around here in Fort Worth. And, they're 8th in the league in total yards, so also an offense that really can move the ball.
Really good against sacks as well. Dunhill has only taken 3 this season. Give up the middle, and a first opening run for Jay-Z Bacon is good for 8 to start this one off.
And that's exactly what you want to do coming out here early. Your first drive, you're in Mexico City, a place that you have, you've won 3-0 here. Fort Worth leads the all-time series 3-0 here in Mexico City against the Aztecs. So really just establish that dominance early, get that running game going, and just try and build a nice drive here to start off.
Offensive line for Fort Worth, Emilio Panda, Gordo and Normie, and Frank Burks doing a good job on the run to start and a good job in pass protection this season as a whole. We'll see how that plays out tonight. One in motion, and Mexico City will counter that with Gerard Brody in coverage. Run. No, play action. Dunhill scrambling. Is he going to run for it himself? He spins and has the first down before being leveled out there by Evan Miller. He rises to his feet with a first down in his pocket.
And that's probably not something you want to see too often if you're Fort Worth here tonight. You know, Marcus Dunhill has that mobility. He's able to get out of the pocket when the play breaks down like that. But, you know, taking a hit like that, you definitely don't want to see that for Dunhill, because I think last week, you know, he was injured and they had to bring in the backup quarterback. So you definitely don't want to repeat of that.
Handoff. Bacon avoids one, will not avoid the second defender. Bursting in was Maurice Lloyd, and she makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
And both these defenses have done a really good job getting around that edge so quickly there to be able to blow up some of these running plays in the backfield. You know, that time Maurice Lloyd for the Aztecs is immediately able to get into the backfield here. Now we're seeing a nice, interesting backfield formation here.
Two back. They're going to split Aaron Alexander, out wide a little bit. Pitch out, and nothing really doing there. Nice pursuit. That's Lloyd again.
Yeah, again, getting involved. 2 plays in a row now that Lloyd has been on the outside. Immediately, they're ready to shut down the running attack. And both these defenses, again, really doing a good job of getting outside early, having great contain on these running games, shutting down plays early. And now, really long 3rd and 12. Dunhill's going to have to air it out.
Single linebacker in. Mexico City going to bring a 5th rusher. Dunhill fires down the middle. Caught! Picked off the defender's back. Cade Stevens is in the middle of the field and inbounds for first down yardage.
That's a dangerous throw there from Marcus Dunhill. Looked like there was about 3 Aztecs waiting in the middle of that field in that zone coverage there. And Cade Stevens, just barely manages to snag that one right in front of the Aztecs defender. That was number 24, Liam Ryan, there on the coverage, but just not able to get the interception. Stevens plucks it away there, and now first down. Really nice play there from Dunhill.
Z Bull with a $2 super chat in memory and honor of Matt Wilson. He's commemorated in the end zones this week with a big 12 there, and commemorated with the stadium as a whole. Bacon, a couple yards there, will set up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, 2nd and 7, only 3 yards for Bacon there. Considering how he did on that first carry of the game where he got like 9, I think that's definitely an improvement and something that Mexico City's going to want to see throughout the rest of this game here. If you can keep people to 3 or 4 yards, you'll still be getting first downs, but it's definitely going to set you up to try and get those big in the backfield stops like they already have been so far on this drive.
Give up the middle. Popped in the back. Wow, what a hit. Jeffrey Daggs, another Hall of Famer, hitting Baker there, and Charlie goes down. Not before making it 3rd and 4, though.
Making his presence felt early here in this game. When you come up from that free safety position to lay the hit on the running back coming up the middle, you're really trying to establish that you own the middle of the field here, and, you're trying to shut down any of those runs.
Right on the edge of field goal range. Dunhill cannot find his receiver. 4th down upcoming. Daggs in on that one, too.
And there's the other facet of his game, the pass protection. Good play in the zone coverage there to break up that pass. Trying to go towards that middle of the field in again there. That time Mexico City was ready for it. They had someone sitting under, breaking up that one, and it looks like they're going to take a pretty short punt here.
They send on the punter. It's not E.K. Vincent back there. It's the punter. He will angle this one. Oh, that is maybe a terrible punt. It is going to bounce at the 19. Oh, there's a good roll, and it's inside the 10. It looked bad, and then it got a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you talk about those short punts like that, you really need to get a good bounce to get some nice field position out of them, because otherwise, you might be punting for only about 10, 15 yards of field position, which is really kind of a disaster in the special teams. But now you pin them on the 8-yard line here, really should be able to pin their ears back and send a little bit of pressure towards Jordan Sipe.
Devontae Richardson, the tight end, in at fullback. I don't know if you guys saw that. Pitch out here, and nothing doing there in the run game. Ray Bentley will get back to the line of scrimmage. No more. Subtle gold on the helmets of Mexico City. I do like that touch.
Yeah, it does look very good on them. I think the uniforms for both teams are looking pretty snappy tonight. But J.L. Browning, the linebacker, in again on the tackle here. These Fort Worth linebackers have really established a no running game policy so far here tonight.
2nd and 10. Goal line defense out of Fort Worth. Look out if they go to the air on this one. Instead, they'll run it up the middle, spinning. Oh, still on his feet. Nice run there by Buford Van Dam. Picks up 8.
Buford Van Dam is a big man there, but when he spins out like that, I don't think most people really realize how agile he can be there. So you might expect him to kind of lower his head, go with the bull rush tactic. Instead, he spins out of that tackle and manages to get a few more yards out of it there. Very nice run from him.
3rd and 2. How does Mexico City approach this one?
What a run looks like.
I don't count your blessings before they hatch, Brandon. I've watched this game for too long. It is a run, though. Bentley shakes one, cannot shake the other, and it's 4th down. Another stop for the Fort Worth Toros defense.
And that's Adam Leach, the cornerback, getting in and getting a tackle on the Hall of Famer Ray Bentley. And, you know, when you're asking your corners to do a lot in this running game, make tackles on great running backs like Ray Bentley, and you're able to do it, that is going to be so good for your run defense. And there, you know, third down, getting a big stop, and now you're going to get the ball back in some pretty nice field position to try and get the first points on the board here tonight.
K.L. Barrett Jr. sends this one away. Stevens on the return out to the Fort Worth 48. I've been told by Ramos in our stats truck that the gold touches are for the Hall of Fame players. I'm very curious how he did that just for certain players. I will talk to him after the broadcast. Stevens, though, the return sets up Fort Worth in a good spot.
Yeah, Fort Worth coming back out here on offense. You know, I think they've had a little bit more success so far tonight than Mexico City has, so certainly looking to move the ball. You know, they got right on the edge of field goal range on that first drive of the game, not able to get close enough for their comfort for their kicker to try and take a shot at it. But this time, you know, starting out in really good field position, I think they have a lot of confidence to get a little bit further and try and put some points up.
4-3 look here out of the defense of Mexico City. Handoff. Bacon was trying to level his way through, and he gets stood up and dropped. The defensive line of Mexico City doing a solid job. Dan Tritz.
Yeah, Dan Tritz really blew that one up there. You know, those linemen, the offensive linemen, really trying to push out there towards the outside to open up that running space in the middle there. And Dan Tritz just really says, no, I'm going to keep you here, keep you in the lane, so that way Jay-Z Bacon gets stuck up, doesn't really know where to go, and ends up not getting anything there.
Run, nothing. Again, Mexico City comes up. Dexter Jackson from the inside linebacker spot.
Yeah, both linebacking cores so far have looked good tonight against the run, but really, you're right that both teams have really struggled to get anything going in the running game so far tonight. Both the trenches, you know, the defenses have really been dominating on both sides, keeping their linemen in position, making sure that lanes get closed as quickly as possible, getting in the gaps quick.
3rd down and 9. Stevens going to move across the formation. Giving chase there is Liam Ryan. 4 down lineman, single linebacker. They're going to only bring 5. Dunhill stands, throws back across his body, incomplete. Another stop for this defense, and Mexico City going to get the ball back.
That's the second time now we've seen Dunhill take that rollout on the right side there and then go back across his body to the left there. That's not usually what you're looking for on those kind of plays. You want to roll to the side that you want to end up throwing to because it'll shorten the distance there, make it a little bit easier of a throw mechanically. Instead, Dunhill's been forced to look back across to the left side of the field both times, and both times it's been incomplete passes.
Fort Worth actually moving a little bit back with this kind of punt game that we've been doing for field position. Mexico City, fair catch at the 25. Matt Wilson, Jordan Sipe will bring this offense back out. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server, simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Sipe this season, about 56% completion percentage. They'll pitch it out, though, this time. Run game just not working tonight so far for Mexico City. Fort Worth all over it.
Vincent again there on that overlapping edge, getting around. You know, the contain game really has been fantastic. Both of these defenses have done such a great job getting to the outside, getting around the tackles, and breaking up these plays so quickly here. I do have to say, Jordan Sipe has not completed a pass yet so far today. He's 0 for 2.
Looking to throw for the 3rd time. Rolling out, pressure coming. Has to fall forwards right back to the line of scrimmage. No more. Jeff Duffy was giving chase.
Duffy there with a good play. You know, that's what I would call that a coverage sack there because, you know, I think Sipe does have a good amount of time to really keep his eyes down the field there. Eventually, though, Jeff Duffy's able to get off his block and finally chase down Jordan Sipe out of the backfield there. And, you know, again, trying to go to the air, but not anything there. 3rd and 10. And now Sipe's 0 for 3, and he's going to have to find someone here if they want this first down.
Bunch formation against a dime defense. Fort Worth only rushing 4. Sipe stands in the pocket, delivers in and out of the hands of the receiver. Incomplete. Henry was the target, and it's a nice defensive hit by Delaney Nash.
But I have to say, I think Bill Henry really should hang on to that one there. It looked like he had an open shot to really cradle that ball and take the hit from behind while still protecting that catch there, but instead he kind of lets it bounce off his hands. Looked like he was trying to catch it with his hands instead of maybe with his chest. And really, you know, that's the kind of catch that you really need to secure, especially for that first down there, get a little bit of momentum. Instead, Mexico City 3 and out.
Punt is away. And Fort Worth, after flipping the field, will come on the return. Stevens, nice little return out to the 36. Dunhill also hasn't thrown a completion. That's not right. Our stats sheet is needing a little fix. He certainly hit Cade Stevens on the first drive of the game.
But other than that, he is 1 for 3 so far. He had that one pass to Stevens that was caught. But other than that, both passing offenses have really been, grounded so far tonight. There has been a no-fly zone established here in Mexico City, and really, I think both defenses deserve a lot of credit because these are two pretty high-flying offenses here, and to keep both of them this contained, we're already getting towards the end of the first quarter here.
1st and 10. And give Bacon, burrowing, not going to get much, a 1-yard gain. And these teams are going to the run game on first down so far, and it's not really working.
Well, I like the idea behind it, though, to try and establish a run game early, get some ground moving. Fort Worth had a decent start with their first running play of the game. But other than that, both teams have really not been able to do much on the ground here. Credit to both the defensive lines especially.
Dunhill, short drop, stands in the pocket, throws for the 4th time tonight. Pass interference coming. Jackson deep in coverage, and that's a mismatch.
Yeah, I think when you get that kind of one-on-one coverage down there with a linebacker on, a much faster player there going down the field to try and catch something, you kind of have to look that way there. And unfortunately for Jackson, just not able to really play it right there. Yeah, just impeding the route there in the way of E.J. Minson. And really, when you have that kind of mismatch, a linebacker on a wide receiver, you got to target that. And a good job by Dunhill to see it and immediately go to it.
Minson, 4th most receiving yards in the SFL with 537 coming in tonight, and you have a linebacker on him deep down the field. Mexico City, lucky that that's just a penalty and not a touchdown. Give, right side, Bacon. Bacon buried by Jackson. He's better in run coverage, and he shows you why right there.
Yeah, he's getting his back right there. I may have messed up on the last play, but I'm going to make sure that you feel it this time around. And really just trying to make sure that, they don't want to run this ball as much as possible. You got to try and establish the defensive physicality and say, hey, we're not going to let you get easy yards on the ground here. If you want something, you're going to have to go to the air.
Split spread look on 2nd and 8. Oh, Mexico City showing blitz. They'll back out of it. The throw is complete. Minson, a one-handed grab across the middle. And that is the Nice Hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23.
Yeah, and that's a nice way to get your first catch here and really get some momentum for Marcus Dunhill. A nice one-handed catch stretching out over the middle there. And the middle of the field has been pretty shut down so far tonight, so it's interesting to see Mexico City kind of back off in that shell zone coverage a little bit and end up leaving that middle of the field pretty open there.
The Aztecs on their heels a little bit, but they've stood up a couple times here in this area of the field. Jackson makes the tackle after Bacon, picks up 5 more.
Wow, the offensive line with a great push there. I saw 3 different Aztecs D linemen on the ground getting absolutely pancake blocked by that offensive line. Emilio Panda, Gordo Enorme, and Frank Burks, that offensive line trio here for Fort Worth, really did a great job on that play.
2nd and 5 for Fort Worth. 4-3 look out of Mexico City. Dunhill rolls, throws, and finds a receiver. Stephen Hacker has entered the game. 1st down.
And now Dunhill's starting to get into a rhythm. He's spreading the ball out very well to his receivers. Stevens, Minson, and now Stephen Hacker getting involved here. And that's a nice little route, just kind of sitting down in that coverage there. Nice throw by Dunhill to throw it behind him and let him sit down. And the corner who was in coverage there, Gerard Brody, kind of over pursuing there. Instead, just able to sit, get a nice 1st down catch here. And now, Fort Worth really starting to build some momentum, looking really good to get the first points of the game.
Toros in position to take the lead. Can they cash the check? Stevens moves bottom to top of the screen. Mexico City looking like they're playing man. They'll run against it, and that'll be good for a couple. 4-yard run for Charlie Baker, 2nd carry of the night for him.
And his best of the night so far. He's been struggling so far tonight. Only 5 yards on 3 carries and a long of 4, so really tough for him. J.Z. Bacon's had 7 carries and only 19 yards himself, so really it's been tough to get going here. None of the running backs here have above a 3.0 yards per average.
Dunhill floats it. That's a very short throw. It's caught for a yard, maybe 2. Hacker will take the last play of this first quarter and bring up 3rd down. 0-0. And both these teams fighting. It's a defensive battle here south of the border. 1 in the books. second quarter action getting started. Mexico City on their heels here on third down, trying to get a stop. Fort Worth trying to score or extend this drive. Dunhill under center will look to throw for the 7th time tonight. Fires across the middle. Hacker makes the grab. Dan Tritz, the defensive tackle, in coverage.
That's definitely a mismatch that you want to see if you're Fort Worth. Again here, they've been playing a lot on these defensive mismatches here. You know, we saw Dexter Williams having to make deep coverage as a linebacker, or Dexter Jackson, excuse me. And now, you know, you see defensive linemen over the middle there. Stephen Hacker's really gotten involved in this drive here. 3 catches for him, basically in a row here, really helping move the team down the field.
Split backs, Dunhill to throw again. Dunhill fires into a lot of traffic, and almost everyone had a chance at that one. It's incomplete. Itera in coverage.
He was looking for Hacker. Again, they're running a little bit of that hitch route, just getting basically straight up to the goal line, turning around and trying to catch it down low there. But really, you know, a tough throw for Marcus Dunhill to make there. I don't blame him at all that he's not able to connect there, but nice coverage from Itera.
Goal line defense here out of Mexico City. The Aztecs trying to make a stand. 2nd down, goal to go from the 4. Dunhill rolls out, has time, throws, incomplete. Throw was offline, pressure was coming, and Mexico City is 1 play away from holding them.
Yeah, I think you talk about quarterbacks sometimes having eyes in the back of their head. I think he saw about 3 Aztecs coming to blast him into the turf there, and he just decides, okay, I'm going to try and, you know, maybe force it in a little bit here to Garrett Jr. Not able to connect that time there. Hacker was also in that back corner, but really not open. Some nice coverage on the back end from the Aztecs here. 3rd and goal, you know, this could be a really nice goal line stand for this Aztecs defense.
Max Jackson in coverage back there for the Aztecs. Another Hall of Famer, part of their Hall of Fame safety pairing with him and Dags. 3rd and goal from the 4. Play action. Dunhill rolling. Dunhill feels the pressure. Dunhill buried! Dunhill will not go far. A.K. Jones.
You see him doing the baseball swing there, swinging for the fences, and he just hit a home run for this defense there. Absolutely smacked Marcus Dunhill and said, no, sir, you're not getting a touchdown here. That's some great defense from the Aztecs, really to stand up stiff here towards the end zone, get a goal line stand here. Now Fort Worth's going to end up having to take a field goal instead of possibly getting a touchdown. That's a big series for this Aztecs defense.
They bend, they don't break. Amelia Rose on to try and take the lead with 9 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Rose sends this one up, and the wind puts it right back down the pipe. 3-0, Fort Worth on top after that 12-play, 52-yard drive.
A solid sustained drive there, but we're talking 12 plays to only go 52 yards and end off with a field goal. I think you really do still have to end up giving credit to Mexico City in the end there to really make them suffer for every yard gained on that drive and then still end up denying them the touchdown at the end of it.
5 runs against 6 passes and the sack. 1 penalty in there on that drive for Fort Worth. Ramos Lynn and Joshua Durr doing the stats for us. Jackson, that's Dags. Nope. Another player. Morrison will kneel it down. One more. Anyone else want to return the ball? And Mexico City will take over at the 20.
And really, you have to look at Jordan Sipe here and say, you need to start getting something going, man. You know, 0 for 3 so far tonight. This passing attack really does have to get moving, especially because that's something that Mexico City relies on so much.
Sipe to throw. Sipe throws an interception. It's fumbled, and Fort Worth falls back on top of it. The Toros have the ball, and Sipe makes a costly error, his 16th interception of the season.
Wow, well, if anyone was asleep, you know, if they don't like defense, I think that play sure woke them up there. A great job by the Toros defensive line to get in. Jordan Sipe under pressure there, throws a little bit of a lame duck, and E.K. Vincent's standing right there. You know, the linebackers have had such an impact there. And even though he fumbles it, Fort Worth still manages to fall on it, keep the ball here. Now they flip the field instantly here, have a chance to add more points on to this lead. That's a huge, huge play for this Toros defense.
Aztecs defense right back out on the field. Ben Charbs racing over in coverage. Dime look, they'll run it against that. Spin out of that one. Oh, and then a nice hit on the back end, but Charlie Baker picks up 7.
Charlie Baker starting to get moving here for this rushing attack. You know, Jay-Z Bacon and Charlie Baker have struggled so far tonight, but if they can just keep I think pounding away at it, as you mentioned, Mexico City has to come right back out here and get on defense again. They might be starting to get a little bit tired, and that's really when the running backs can do a lot of damage, when this defense really starts to get a little bit gassed.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Here is the play action. Dunhill all alone on the left side. He's going to run. Dunhill's got open room. Dunhill will score right on top of the Aztecs logo. Marcus Dunhill opens up the touchdown game and puts the Fort Worth Toros up 9-0.
It makes it look a little bit easy there, honestly. A lot of pressure was sent down the middle there, and the play action really did a great job there to keep those Aztecs players looking at the center of the field there. Dunhill on the rollout again, this time going left, and he's just wide open. He doesn't see anything he likes in the end zone in terms of wide receivers, so he just decides, hey, I'll just stroll in, take a 10-0 lead.
Everyone moved to the left, and Marcus Dunhill said, well, I'm just going to go score over here in the open space. Fort Worth 9. Amelia Rose, number 9, sends this one up to make it 10-0. Toros on top. 2 plays, 20 yards after the E.K. Vincent interception.
A great way to capitalize there on a big turnover, immediately going down, getting the touchdown. You were denied the first time around, but now you get to add up and get a double-digit lead here, and that's really big in terms of getting the momentum here early. And really just a great play from Marcus Dunhill. That actually kind of reminded me of that famous Peyton Manning bootleg touchdown he had against the Cowboys way back when.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Mexico City will kneel this one down. Offensive comparison here. Mexico City has 6 yards of offense. They're 0 for 4 with a pick passing. And Marcus Dunhill, 5 of 9 for 44 yards, 1 rushing touchdown for him. Over 40 yards of rushing for their offense to go along with those 44 through the air. So really, Fort Worth has all the momentum here, and Mexico City's going to have to climb their way out. Bartley goes from bottom to top of the screen with 8 minutes to go here in the second. Sipe throws this one. Oh, go get it, young fella. What a grab by Bill Henry, who rises to the top.
He's trying to make up for that drop earlier on that third down on a previous drive here. A great catch from him, getting up very early there, making a tough catch. That's a tight catch to make, and Ben Stone lays a big hit as soon as the ball gets there, but a nice job to hang on there. And finally, Jordan Sipe gets a completion here, maybe, starting to get into a little bit of that rhythm, and they're going to need to. This Mexico City attack relies a lot through the air and on the arm of Jordan Sipe, and he really is going to have to get it going.
His 12 touchdowns through the air lead the league. Van Dam, another run up the middle. He had 5 carries coming into the night. He's the leading Aztecs rusher with his 2 carries tonight.
And honestly, I'm not all that surprised that Buford Van Dam is kind of the main man to tote the rock here in this backfield. He's a big man, and when you're running against a front that's been as aggressive as Fort Worth, you really need that kind of physical presence to drive through some of these hits.
Ray Bentley, stiff arm on this left side. He'll pick up a couple. It'll be 3rd and 3.
And this is really what you want to see from Mexico City, the passing attack, finally getting a pass completed, especially a little bit down the field as well. And now 2 nice runs in a row here. Really want to get into that rhythm and keep Fort Worth honest in both phases. You can hit them with the pass and hit them with the run. Try and keep them guessing as much as possible.
Need to get out to the 48-yard line. Fort Worth has 4 down linemen. Give right up the gut, spinning. They're going to give the first down there. Jacob Morrison has it. Just a little bit sketchy there on that one, and Fort Worth couldn't get the stop. Nash was in on it. Whoa, hold your horses.
Ooh. Challenge flag coming out here. They really want to contest that one. I'm surprised Morrison even got close to that first down, considering there was 10 men in the box on the defensive side there. But
yeah,
looks like we're going to have a challenge.
This is your retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. That's about as close as it gets there.
Yeah, the problem is the ball's in the right hand there, which is behind the marker, but coming down, I think he just might have got it.
That yellow line is not official. This is a big momentum swing of a plague, one way or the other, and they are going to overturn it, and it will be 4th down. Fort Worth gets a huge turn on that challenge.
That was very, very close there. This is a game of inches, and that inch just managed to count there. I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly, if the Aztecs bring out Van Dam here and really just say, hey, we think we can gain a few inches on the ground. But, they might also just choose to be safe and punt the ball, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
So close to midfield. And Mexico City will play the field position game. Little bit of a low snap. Punt is away. Fort Worth down the field will call for a fair catch at their own 15, 16-yard line, and that is where Marcus Dunhill and this offense will come back out. And Mexico City, just as they get things going, Brandon, have to kick it away.
Yeah, that's how it feels so far for Mexico City. You know, every time they get a little bit of momentum going, it seems like something comes up that just snatches it right back for Fort Worth. You know, they had a nice stop, goal line stand against them to limit them to 3, and then immediately turn the ball over. Fort Worth gets a touchdown, then they get a nice drive going, but they don't manage to get the first down on a challenge, and now Dunhill's got a chance to build another drive.
Dunhill against the blitz will throw it. Hacker cannot come up with it. It was a really good throw from Dunhill, just seeing the blitz and going to his hot receiver, and Hacker couldn't haul it in.
Dunhill's done well so far with the pressure. Obviously, he took that sack on that goal line situation, but other than that, he's been doing a nice job of getting the ball out right before the Aztecs managed to get to him here. But, you know, I think Mexico City can actually be kind of happy that, you know, we've seen Fort Worth struggle to really build sustained drives so far tonight.
Man pressure, down he goes. Dan Tritz gets there, and another sack for the Aztecs.
Yeah, that might be a little bit of a commentator's curse on my part. I just said Marcus Dunhill's done a good job of avoiding pressure. It's really hard to avoid pressure when it comes right up the middle there. Dan Tritz just immediately kind of swim moves his way past the center and the guard, and then he's just straight there. Dunhill tucks and just really tries to protect that ball because he knows he's going to take a big hit.
Tritz and Jones both have sacks, and now Fort Worth pinned deep on 3rd and 13 inside their own 15. Dunhill rolls out. Dunhill fires back across his body into double coverage, incomplete.
Yeah, that's a tight throw to make there. I'm actually very impressed. Charlie Baker was there with some nice pass protection. You saw Dexter Jackson, the linebacker, coming in as a late 5th-man rusher, and a nice block from the running back in the pass protection, setting up some more time for Marcus Dunhill, but unfortunately just makes the wrong choice there, going across the field into double coverage. That's not really a pass you can expect to complete very often.
Punter is on for Fort Worth. Aztecs coming after it, not really set up for the return. Fair catch called for right at the spot that they finished their last drive, the 47.
Yeah, and I like the idea there to try and, you know, get a block on the punt, because if you get that block, that's at least a safety, maybe even recovered for a touchdown, whereas, you know, you might not be set up for a return, but the fair catch will still end you right at about midfield. And, you know, we've seen some offensive movement. They stalled out just barely on that last drive, but if they can keep that momentum going, really keep establishing that run game in particular, which was doing pretty well, I think you might have a decent shot to try and really get on the board here and get some momentum coming towards halfway through the second quarter.
Last drive was the most yards they've got in a drive so far tonight. Really trying to get this motor going. Give Van Dam up the middle, and Van Dam will pick up 3.
I'm always impressed by how much vision Buford Van Dam has. You know, you saw that on the beginning of that play there. He was going outside around the left tackle, but he sees that there's not too much there. The wide receivers maybe not getting downfield to block as far as he might like. So he tries to bend it back up the center there and manages to get some nice yards before Fort Worth kind of brings in a gang tackle to bring him down there. It's always nice to see a fullback and a big man like that have some nice ball carrier vision. It's very impressive.
Toros in a 4-4 run up the middle with Ray Bentley. Bentley lowers the shoulder, has the first down.
That's hard power running there from Ray Bentley. You know, you really just kind of getting up the middle, lowering your head, and immediately getting a few yards there, just straight up the middle of the field. You know, and that's a couple of Fort Worth Toros there kind of bouncing off of him and slowly dragging him down, but not before he brings up 7 yards and gets a first down.
Duffy tackled him forward. Ray Bentley now 5 carries, 9 yards. That's 1.8 per carry. That one is best one of the game. Single back in the backfield. They'll pitch it out. Here's Morrison. Morrison slides forward, picks up 5. Aztecs getting going here on the ground.
Yeah, the running game's really starting to get some rhythm. They're targeting that outside a lot here, and they've done a nice job actually interspersing the outside and the inside. But like you mentioned, Ray Bentley's on 9 yards on 5 carries, but that last one was 8 yards. That was his long. So outside of that, only 1 yard on 4 carries. Van Dam's been the best, 3 for 15, but really, you know, they've just now started to get going, but Fort Worth overall has done a really nice job.
Bentley trucks a guy and has a first down. He was sending Ben Stone underneath the ground and putting a tombstone over his head. First down for the bowling ball.
Yeah, they'll have to remember Ben Stone at Dia de los Muertos next year, because he just buried him right there. Just put the head down and immediately got some nice yards, put him in the ground. And, really, they've done a nice job here. I think that's like 3 or 4 runs in a row now where they've gotten at least like 4 or 5 yards. Really nice rhythm here. And now it looks like Sipe's going to try and go to the air, capitalize on that momentum.
Empty back. Toros only rushed 3. Sipe fires incomplete offline. He was looking for Noe Terrazas, couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, and I don't know if Terrazas even really saw the ball coming there. He didn't have his hands up at all. I think maybe Sipe might have missed behind him, and he just didn't end up seeing it. But either way, that's a missed opportunity there for the Aztecs. You've been running the ball really well here, trying to capitalize with a nice pass to go over the top. Instead, you missed it, and now you're in 2nd and 10, where the running game might not be as effective because you've got one less down now to try and get to that chain marker.
4 wide. Bartley going to come in motion down here to split them 2 and 2. Sipe against a 3-man rush. Will look, load up, and fire, and a flag is coming. That was another linebacker in coverage. Vincent, I think, is getting the flag here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was EK there down the field in coverage, getting dinged for that. Yes, it is. That's very unfortunate. We've seen now both teams have been able to take advantage of those mismatches there. Linebackers going deep in zone coverage here. I mean, he's as far back as some of the safeties there, and there's multiple linebackers in the back there. But just getting in the way of Doug Spellin, you can't do that, EK.
That sets up the Aztecs here, 1st and 10 inside the SFL red zone. What can Sipe and this offense do? 1 of 6 today with a pick. Can he make something work, or will the rushing game get going again? Sipe to throw. Van Dam picks up a block. Oh. He throws and completes. Huge touchdown to Devontae Richardson. He spikes it, and the Aztecs have 6.
A nice job there. You mentioned Van Dam picking up a block there, and that's a great job from him because Fort Worth brought a decent amount of pressure there. Van Dam picks up a nice block there just to give Sipe that split second more time that he needs to throw down the field there. And Richardson able to do a nice job of breaking coverage early there and getting a touchdown. Jordan Sipe finally starting to get some of that rhythm back, gets his first touchdown of the game, makes his stat line look a decent chunk better. And now you're pulling back to within only 3 points.
And there you saw the Dags DroneWorks blimp. Devontae Richardson's 2nd touchdown of the season, and he pulls the Aztecs within 3 after that one.
Yeah, 2nd touchdown of his season, and as a second-year player, it's only the 3rd touchdown of his entire career here, so that could be a really big one because that really does pull them in a lot closer here. It felt like the momentum had been swinging Fort Worth's way for a majority of this game so far, but that drive was nicely put together. Mexico really grounded out on the ground and was able to finish it off now, and now you're within 3 here. If the defense continues playing the way that they have so far in this entire first half, we could be talking about a really tight game.
Touchback for Charlie Baker will set him up 10-7 here. 4:09 to go in the 2nd quarter of action. And Marcus Dunhill will bring this offense right back out. Aztecs looking like man coverage on the outside. Dunhill fires underneath. Diving catch is made, and they'll give 8 to E.J. Minson.
A nice catch from Minson here. And now we're going to see, Mexico was able to finally get a nice sustained drive going on that last one. That means the defense has had time to sit on that bench, get some Gatorade in them, rest up, and, be really recharged and refreshed here for this drive. We're going to have to see if the Fort Worth Toros can really build another sustained drive on this defense now that they possibly have been re-energized.
Bacon going to flex out of the backfield. Aztecs showing blitz off the top. They only bring 4. Roll out. Dunhill going to scramble for it. Dunhill's got the first down and more. Dunhill slides down. Safe. And he's got the first down.
Dunhill really has done a great job here. Rolling out again there. And again, really not watched by too many players there. You see number 22, that's Gerard Brody, back in coverage there, but he doesn't come up until Dunhill's at least got about 5 or 6 yards on the ground. Really, I think Mexico City's going to have to look at possibly getting a QB spy out there on the field. Maybe, Dexter Jackson, one of the linebackers, to really try and watch Dunhill, because so far he's made it just as much of a killing on the ground as he has through the air.
Dunhill, the leading rusher for the Fort Worth Toros at this point in the game. Minson moves from bottom to top of the screen. There's 2-on-1 up there at the top. Instead, Dunhill will look to throw. He fires across the middle. And it's picked! The Hall of Famer Max Action Jackson down the sideline. Jackson to the 15. He spins and is brought down right there on the spot, but the Aztecs have the ball back.
Yeah, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. And, you know, you saw that great coverage there, shading under the route on that deep inside post there. He's looking at Marcus Dunhill's eyes the entire way there, sitting right under Stephen Hacker the whole time there. And then he almost gets very close to bringing it all the way back. You know, he has some blockers down the field here, and Dunhill ends up having to be the one to bring him down here. But a fantastic play from Mexico City. Huge momentum swing, you know. Fort Worth was really dominating this game early on, but in this second quarter, Mexico City has really shown up to play here at home tonight. They've come out and gotten a huge turnover, and now if they can punch it in the end zone, they'll be taking a lead.
Jeffrey Daggs was right behind Max Jackson. I do not advise, no matter if you're a Hall of Fame quarterback, throwing into double Hall of Fame coverage. Jackson makes him pay the price. First down and 10. Aztecs right back in the red zone. 2:51 to go here in the first half. Quick blitz, sight fires, wide open receiver, spins, and he'll walk in! Noe Terrazas has 6 for the Aztecs. Oh, but Sipes down!
Oh, no, that could be a huge swing there. The highs and the lows, the mountains and valleys for Mexico City here. You saw a huge blitz coming through there. Noe Terrazas gets to showboat his way into the end zone and get a touchdown. As long as this doesn't come back. Yeah, it looks like roughing the passer potentially.
Roughing the passer indeed. Fort Worth brought everyone, and Mexico City was able to get rid of the ball. Terrazas walks in, and we'll have to check on Sipe, because if not, it's Larry Love the rest of the way.
And I hate to say this, Andy, but I think potentially, depending on Jordan Sipes' ability to return back into this game here, the Toros might look at that and say, hey, we just took a roughing the passer penalty, gave up a touchdown. In the long run, it could be worth it. I hate to say that, but, when you have your quarterback going out of the game, a quarterback that leads the league in touchdowns this season, and you have to rely on Larry Love, a backup who hasn't seen the field at all this season, that could be a huge momentum swing back in Fort Worth's favor.
Kick is away, and the Aztecs will send it back to Fort Worth. Baker out of his own end zone. Didn't get to the 19. What a special teams play there. It's number 23, Ben Charbs.
Great play by Ben Charbs there. That's some fantastic special teams coverage, You're always taking a risk when you decide to run it out of the end zone like that because you really have to get some nice yards there. And Charbs was coming around the edge so quickly there. I don't think any of the Toros special teams unit even saw him there. Makes a quick tackle. And, that's just a great play. Heads up special teams coverage for sure.
Split spread here for Dunhill. Dunhill going to drop way back, fires into a lot of coverage, and he's lucky that one wasn't picked off as well.
Yeah, Jackson there on the coverage, getting back into this game here, doing some nice work for this defense. And really, again, Marcus Dunhill looking over the middle. This time, Mexico City does a nice job of just putting a ton of bodies in the way, making sure that it's very congested. The receivers really don't have any room to get around in, and Dunhill's pass really has no hope of ever finding a target there. Nice coverage, and I think you're going to see that a lot as the game goes on here. Really just try and shut down the middle of the field.
Dunhill to throw for the 15th time tonight. Pressure coming. He has to unload down the middle of the field. Hacker hauls it in over the top of Max Jackson. Oh, that's good on good, and Hacker comes away with that one.
Yeah, on the last drive, Jackson got the better of it with that interception. This time, Hacker gets the better of the Hall of Famer with a very nice catch. I think he basically plucked that off of Max Jackson's helmet, just over his hands. Man, that's a fantastic pass from Dunhill. Put it right where only Stephen Hacker could really get to it. And, that's a huge play. You get so far down the field in one play there, go from not great field position to now, this 2-minute drive really could end up being a really big one here, get some of the last points of the half on the board.
Dunhill down to the 44, pitch out. Here is the back, and nothing doing there for Charlie Baker. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 to play here in this first half of action, and it has started to heat up south of the border. I'm Andy Hamilton. He is Brandon Walters, and this is SFL action. Fort Worth inside the 50-yard line of the Mexico City Aztecs. Can they cash in for points, or will the Aztecs defense stand up? There's no one down here against this receiver to the bottom. They finally flip one down. Here is Dunhill looking to throw. Dunhill is going to run for it. Dunhill is hit by Jackson and goes down, but not before picking up a couple. 3rd and 7.
Man, Marcus Dunhill is a brave man to put his helmet down and just take on Dexter Jackson one-on-one. That is not a matchup that I would want to go take on if I was a quarterback, for sure. But again, Dunhill really showing off that mobility. He's really been a very two-dimensional player. The arm and the legs have both been good for him tonight.
Dunhill fires. That one's caught across the middle. 1st down to Minson, and he picks up 7+.
Yeah, Fort Worth, as the game's gone on here, Dunhill was really kind of stamped his authority on this game. The passing game has really started to warm up. And in contrast, the running game has not really been able to do much so far, especially in the second quarter. Dunhill still is the leading rusher for this team with 29 yards rushing. Jay-Z Bacon has 19 on 7 carries, and Charlie Baker has 12 yards on 5 carries. Really struggling to move on the ground.
Twins to the top of the screen. Dunhill looking to throw. Fires deep down the middle. Tipped and incomplete. Nice defensive play there, Jeffrey Daggs.
I thought that was an interception there. I thought Daggs managed to reel that one in. Unfortunate for him to kind of just bounce off his hands, but you're right. Absolutely fantastic man coverage. They're sitting right under the route and just watching Dunhill the whole way again here. The Mexico City secondary has done a really good job of keeping eyes on Dunhill and being able to shut down most of these passes downfield. He manages to get some good shots over the top here, but for the most part, they've really limited those long balls.
69 seconds to play here in this first half of action. Nickel look here out of the defense for the Aztecs. Dunhill, quick throw. Dunhill tipped away by last year's Defensive Player of the Year, Dexter Jackson.
I think we gave him a little bit of stick when he had that pass interference penalty early on in the game here, but Dexter Jackson has really done a fantastic job rebounding from that here. He's got 4 tackles, 2 assists, and 2 pass defenses. For a linebacker, that's a really good job. He's done a nice job shutting down the middle of the field so far, especially in the second quarter. It's been basically a no-fly zone for Marcus Dunhill in this Toros offense.
3rd and 10 from the 33. Dime look here out of the Aztecs. Single back. Here's the throw, and that's caught for a 1st down. Hacker and Fort Worth will take their first timeout.
The timeout management I actually have really approved of so far here. They haven't called any yet because they've been draining the clock. They're getting into a scoring position already. So it's time to take down that time as much as possible now. We're at around 1 minute left in this quarter here. And if you can maybe get one more 1st down, I really think that this will be the final drive of the quarter here, or the half even. And you can really, set up maybe even getting the lead back going into halftime.
Dunhill floats one, far side caught. Stevens breaks a tackle and steps out of bounds. 1st and goal for Fort Worth.
Yeah, and I don't really know how much I agree with Cade Stevens stepping out of bounds there, because now you stop the clock.
Either.
56 seconds left. That's a lot of time, especially now because you're going to be in a 1st and goal situation. You can't, extend the drive with another 1st down to keep running that clock off. Might have left a little bit of much time here, but either way, Fort Worth gets to set up here and try and go for another touchdown. And the good thing is that they still are a little bit further back, and Dunhill has been the one really moving the ball here. So I think he'll be happy to have those little bit extra yards in order to get his receivers a little bit more open.
1st and goal, 56 seconds left in the half. Dunhill, shotgun, quick throw. Dunhill, Minson, cash the check, take that baby to the crib. 6 for Fort Worth.
A great catch for E.J. Minson. That's a really nice play by Marcus Dunhill, especially. I just said that they might be happy having a little bit more room here. And Dunhill goes in the gun. Really quick throw there. I mean, he takes the snap, and he's basically immediately looking at Minson. As soon as he sees that there's no inside leverage coverage on him from the linebackers, he throws that thing immediately. Touchdown here. Number 50 all-time for E.J. Minson, so congratulations to him on the big milestone, and congrats to Fort Worth taking the lead here, although Mexico City's got a little bit of time left to see if they can get a drive going here right before the end of half.
4th of the season for Minson, who has, coming into the game, tied for 5th most receptions in the SFL and 4th most yards, so really an impact player across the entire league. And he is an impact player for Fort Worth tonight, giving them a 17-14 lead. Keep in mind that Fort Worth will get the opening kickoff of the second half. Return here, Morrison. Morrison out across the 25, spins and is shut down at the 30. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support.
And here's the question of the game, Andy. Do we see Jordan Sipe come back out or Larry Love? And it looks like Larry Love, number 2, is going to be under center here for the Aztecs.
Larry Love will head out. Don't have much information on him other than that he's a lover, not a fighter.
Well, they're going to need him to fight here. You know, you're down and you only got 48 seconds. You got to try and get down the field and maybe get a field goal, tie this game up going into the locker rooms.
4-4 look. They'll give it to Van Dam. Van Dam is going Van nowhere. Loss of nothing. Nash, though, will come in and stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you could say the van broke down pretty quickly there. Nice coverage there from Fort Worth, really getting into that gap early. On the outside, again, the outside run coverage has really been fantastic. I really have to commend both defenses so far tonight. They have sealed those outside edges.
2nd and 10. Devontae Richardson in the backfield along with Van Dam. Larry Love, first throw of the night. Love looking for it all down the middle.
Oh.
He's got the completion. Terrazas to midfield.
All right, Larry. You know, he gets a little bit warmed up, gives it to Van Dam while he's stretching out his muscles on the sideline here, and he goes deep for his first throw. Talk about some confidence coming off the bench to make that throw. And Terrazas with a nice catch already to midfield here. Big play. 5 seconds left. Oh, they're not going to call. Oh, they are going to call their timeout. Okay. So Love's going to get a shot at a Hail Mary here potentially.
Can Larry Love etch his name into the history books? If his second pass in the league is a Hail Mary touchdown, I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Exactly. I mean, hey, you're going to have to keep some eyes on him. If he comes out here on his first drive right before the end of half and throws a Hail Mary to the end zone, you know, we might be looking at a big upset for Larry Love.
Love going to drop all the way back. Larry Love puts his arm into this one. Deep throw. Love overshot him, believe it or not, and that will take us to the halftime break. 14-17, Mexico City down by 3 at home. Fort Worth coming in and making a statement. A battle for the South, potentially, that'll have implications come playoff time. Brandon, walk us through what you saw here in the first half.
Yeah, it's been a really tight game here, Andy. Both teams have been very even so far tonight. You know, especially both running games have really struggled to get going. The defenses have done a great job of being aggressive and closing lanes quickly, you know. I think, yeah, Marcus Dunhill is still the leading rusher of both sides in this game, you know. And when you're talking about a quarterback being the leading rusher in a game, I think we have some problems to address on that running game side. But, you know, Marcus Dunhill's also been throwing the ball well, and that's really been the difference so far tonight. You know, he's got 11 of 21, 130 yards, a touchdown and an interception, unfortunately for him, but really been doing better than Sipe, who, you know, may be questionable whether or not he's going to come back in this game. We saw Larry Love make a nice throw, and so maybe, you know, I think Mexico City can have a little bit of hope if he ends up having to stay in for the rest of the game, but I think either way, you'd be much happier having Jordan Sipe coming back into this game, even though he's only completed 3 of his 8 passes, under 50 yards passing, but he's got 2 touchdowns. So, you know, when they get in position, they're able to get things done, but I think they're really going to need to see some offensive backbone and really be able to actually set up some drives here, because when they've scored, it's been on very short fields.
Jordan Sipe, fractured arm, out for the rest of tonight's game. So it will be the Larry Love show. And Mexico City will try and overcome obstacles and potential pitfalls. And they got to start on defense. They will kick this one away. And Fort Worth will start with the football. And Marcus Dunhill, who is red hot tonight, will take the field. He's Brandon Walters. I'm Andy Hamilton. Ramos Lynn along with Joshua Durr in the stats truck for us. Return here will be brought out by Lili Nakai. Nakai shakes one. Oh, and then it's popped at the 28. Wow, these teams had no missing hatred for each other across the halftime break.
That's a halfback, our toe spinner, number 21 there, laying the wood on the kickoff return. Great play by him to really hit Lili Nakai, sit him down quickly and make sure that he's not going to get, or she's not going to get anywhere, excuse me. But a nice return there on the 28-yard line now, and Dunhill gets to come back out here and really try and, you know, build another nice long drive here. Something that they've kind of struggled with so far. They had a couple decent ones in the second quarter, but other than that, both defenses have done a good job of fragmenting these drives. You know, you're only really getting scores on short fields so far tonight, it feels like.
Give up the middle. Bacon picks up 2.
And that's exactly what we've seen all game. Bacon's averaging under 3 yards a carry, probably just at around 2.5 yards a carry at the moment here. 21 yards on 8 carries for him. And outside of that, Charlie Baker's not done much either as the number 2 running back. Dunhill's been the most productive rusher on those rollouts.
Dunhill to throw again, off the hands of Robert Garrett Jr.
And that's really something that you got to get there. I mean, Robert Garrett Jr. had some nice space there. I think he could have really come down with that one and got this drive going with some nice momentum, and instead just misses out on the catch here. And instead, Marcus Dunhill's going to have to go back to the air here almost certainly on 3rd and 8 unless he tries to maybe roll out again. But I think Mexico City's really going to be able to key in. And when you've got 2 Hall of Fame safeties, being able to key in on that pass is a very big advantage.
Dunhill rolls, throws across his body, incomplete, looking for Hacker.
And exactly, Jeffrey Daggs was down there along with Merrick Itera. And when you've got Hall of Fame safeties that know the pass is coming, know what to look for, it's just going to be so hard to be able to move the ball down the field and, get completions to get you first downs. And Dunhill showed it there, not able to get that one along to the first down marker. And Fort Worth's going to have to punt the ball back to the Larry Love show.
Kicks it away. Fair catch called for at the 34. We'll send it to Cameron Irvine in the truck for a game break. Cam?
Thanks, Andy. Wild game going on in Denver tonight. 21-14 in the third. Portland up. Ari Mills with the touchdown. The Nightwings have 382 yards of offense, and we haven't even hit the 4th. Tie game at 24 at Richard L. Snowden Memorial. Back to you in Mexico.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. 1st and 10. Pitch out left side. Ray Bentley, first carry of the second half, is good for 5 or 6. We have another injury down. This one from Fort Worth. Ben Stone still down.
And that's unfortunate for Fort Worth. Ben Stone has been a big part of the defense so far tonight, been really involved, especially in that run support game from the free safety position here. But to go back to Mexico City here, we've seen Larry Love complete some nice passes so far in this game, but I think really that's probably what you're going to see the majority of the game. Going to have to lean on Ray Bentley. And thankfully, the game is close enough to where you can still really lean on that running game, because I think if Fort Worth had a large lead, you would really have to ask him to be slinging the ball, and that's probably not what you would want.
Well, with a safety out, the deep area of the field would be where you'd want to attack. They'll go heavy here, and Love will hand it off to Ray Bentley, who gets plastered in the backfield for a loss.
And now 3rd down and 6, you're almost certainly going to have to look to Larry Love to throw the ball here and get a first down. And E.K. Vincent has really been having a great game from that linebacker position. He's really done a nice job of shutting down this running game so far tonight. 4 tackles, an interception, and 3 of those tackles have been for loss so far tonight, Andy. Fantastic game from him.
Love under center. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's going to roll. Love going to fire deep down the middle of the field. Tipped and incomplete. Oh, that one hung in the air forever.
And I don't actually think that was that bad of a pass from Larry Love. I think that was just a little bit of a missed opportunity. Bill Henry there. He had the double coverage, but they were both on the over coverage there. So if he sits in a little bit under, he might be able to get a nice clean catch on that ball. Instead, I think it ended up bouncing off of his arm or maybe even his hands and unable to reel that one in. Unfortunate for this offense there. I think they had a good shot, but instead, Fort Worth's going to get the ball back.
Aztecs know they're at a little bit of a disadvantage on offense. They will punt it back in a 3-point game. Almost interference there. Stevens hauls it in at the 15.
But what a punt, though. I mean, that's probably traveled at least 50 yards in the air there. Fantastic job from the special teams for the Aztecs. I mean, you're talking about, the high elevation here in Mexico City. The air is a little bit thinner, so it'll be easier to get those long punts, but that's still a nice leg.
K.L. Barrett Jr., an all-star last year, 3rd season with Mexico City. K.L. Barrett Sr., the former wide receiver, played here as well way back in the day. Dunhill, short drop. Dunhill! Buried! Evan Miller with the sack, the 3rd sack for this Mexico City front 4.
Mexico City's done a fantastic job. The D-line has done such a great job getting in the backfield and sacking someone as elusive as Marcus Dunhill. We've seen him roll out and get out of the pocket very quickly here. So to get a sack on him really just comes down to immediately beating your lineman assignment and being able to get into that backfield before Dunhill really even realizes what's happening. And another great sack there, this time for Evan Miller. Now 2nd and 16. Again, Mexico City gets to key in on that pass.
Dunhill, short drop.
Oh.
still buried. AK Jones, and the AK stands for you already know.
Wow, 4th sack of the game here, and 2 on this drive for the Aztecs. 2 on back-to-back plays, Andy. This is fantastic. A blitz that time, and the center just has to take on 2-on-1 there and just absolutely get smoked there. AK Jones doing a fantastic job there. 2 sacks for him so far tonight. He's the first one with not double digits, but a double sack compliment so far tonight. At 3rd and 19, now you really get to key in on the pass.
Dunhill only had 3 coming into the night. They have 4 already. He'll just hand it off. Baker will get dropped, and it's 4th down, and the Aztecs defense says, Jordan Sipe or no Jordan Sipe, we're balling out.
Yeah, this defense has seriously stepped up, especially from the 2nd quarter onwards here. They've done a really great job of, enforcing their will on this offense. The Fort Worth offense has really struggled to get any serious momentum going. Every time they've been put basically outside of Mexico City's red zone to start a drive here, they've not been able to build any kind of consistent momentum. The only reason that they've been able to score as much as they have is just because of nice short field position from turnovers.
Morrison, nice return out to the Fort Worth 40, and Mexico City has good field position again.
And this is the kind of drive that you have to capitalize on, though. You're already on the 40 here. I know you got a backup quarterback in Larry Love, but you've got to try and get in scoring position here, Thankfully, again, with that high altitude, the kicks you might be able to make from a little bit further out, so that can help you in terms of being able to kick a longer field goal, not needing as many yards. But you got to try and get something here. You've been so close this entire game. These kind of drives where you get nice starting field position are the absolutely critical ones if you want to win this game here. You got to try and at least get 3.
7-11 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Larry back to throw. Love feeling the heat. Fires deep down the middle. Caught! Oh! Breaking free and down inside the 5. Navante Richardson coming on big tonight.
Man, Larry Love has come in here with some swagger. He's been going deep every single throw that he's made. I don't think he's made a throw that wasn't at least 20 air yards through here, really stretching out that arm. And Navante Richardson, again, getting involved here. He's only had 2 catches, 2 targets, but 2 really big catches. First, that touchdown early on in the game, and now setting up a 1st and goal situation for this offense here. That's exactly what you want to see out of your backup quarterback. The Larry Love show has got some great ratings so far from me.
56 yards on the season, 51 tonight for Richardson. Pitch out, Ray Bentley, right side. Bentley! No. Denied the end zone. He'll go down at the 3.
He was close there. He's so slippery, you got to be able to get multiple tacklers on him to make sure that you bring him down there, and you almost saw it there. He was in the process of breaking that initial contact before getting dragged down after only about a gain of a yard or 2. But that's still good progress here. Now you're only at about the 2-yard line. You can probably try and pound the rock again here.
Give right side, shakes, bakes, Morrison to the end zone, touchdown, right on top of the 12 at Estadio Matt Wilson, and Morrison puts Mexico City right back out on top.
And that's exactly the kind of drive they needed, Andy. You got the nice field position. You got to go and make it count if you want to win this game. A critical divisional matchup here. This could be a game that very well determines playoffs, whether or not you're going to make it to the dance at the end of the season here. And Mexico City showing that will to win. Larry Love has 57 yards on 2 completed passes out of 4. He's had a better game so far than Jordan Sipe. He's doing fantastically from that backup position.
Morrison's 4th touchdown of the season, and the Aztecs out in front by a full 4. I mean, Brandon, this isn't even just a game that could decide playoff spots. It could decide the whole division.
Exactly. Like this, with Houston losing to Canton earlier on today, this game has become absolutely critical because these are the other 2 big division contenders. Louisiana and Alamo City have both kind of still been struggling to kind of get their footing here. So this is a match between right now 2nd and 3rd in the division. Whoever wins this has a very good chance of potentially upsetting Houston and getting that crown.
Lily Nakai, right side. Nakai trying to turn the corner. She's got the corner. Does she got the room?
Oh.
Nakai down the sideline. It's a foot race, and she'll go down at the 24. What a return by Lily Nakai to light this place on fire.
And that's the kind of momentum swing that you need there. Special teams is not something that we see too often making huge impacts, but when it does, it's absolutely critical. Lily Nakai fighting for that one there, and then just a foot race down the edge of the sideline here. Just look at the running. So just close for the Aztecs. So close to being able to bring her down early there, but instead she gets to the 25-yard line, and now Dunhill's got great field position, and when they've been in this great field position so far this game, Andy, they've been able to capitalize on this defense.
First down, 10 to go. Dunhill back out, back to work. 4-4 for the Aztecs. Twins to the top of the screen. Mismatch there for that slot receiver. Dunhill, though, gives Bacon, trying to find a lane. Bacon will wrestle Jeffrey Daggs, only gets 2.
Only 2 yards there, but still, you know, getting started here, I think you can excuse a first down run for not getting too many yards here. It's about more establishing some momentum, trying to keep that defense guessing, because, you know, we've seen this Mexico City pass defense been really tough on Marcus Dunhill so far tonight, so you got to try and keep that run mixed in to keep him honest.
Dunhill to throw. Dunhill feeling the heat, fires down the middle. Jackson jarred it loose.
A fantastic play there by Jackson, almost turning himself into a bit of a human torpedo there down the field. You saw Stephen Hacker trying to get hands on a very long pass there that could have set them up right on the goal line, essentially. Instead, Jackson flies in there with a shoulder lowered, breaks it up here. And now 3rd and 8, you know, Dunhill really needs to try and target probably around the middle of the field again. That's where I'd look to.
5:32 to go here in the 3rd. 4 receivers wide. Dunhill going to roll out. Dunhill protected well. Fires back across his body. Jackson for the 2nd time tonight makes him pay the price, and the Aztecs defense stands strong.
Marcus, you can't do that, man. Again, he rolls out to one side and throws across his body to the other side. When you extend the amount of time that the ball is going to be in the air there, you're giving opportunities to guys like Max Jackson to get in the way of the throw and pick it off there, and that's what he does, and that's a huge, huge stop for the Aztecs defense. Again, they're standing up strong and making sure that Fort Worth has great field position. You start on the 25 and you get nothing. You can't do that if you're Fort Worth and you want to win this game. It's just not possible. 100
career interceptions now for Max Jackson. Quite the honor for him. Congratulations, sir, and what a time to make it happen. Love in his own end zone. Love! Forward progression out of the end zone. Duffy got to him.
I'm sure Mike Daggs just had a heart attack there, seeing Larry Love getting swarmed in the end zone there. He just gets pulled out there. Very unfortunate for the Fort Worth defense to not be able to get a safety there. Jeff Duffy was probably about half a yard away. They're going to spot him at about the 2, so thankfully for Mexico City, they get a little bit of forward progress to keep him out of the end zone here, but this is a very dangerous situation, especially when you've got your backup in the game. You know, they can crack under pressure quite easily.
Pitch, right side. Van Dam lost another yard, but did get out of the end zone. Jerry D. Gond with the tackle for loss. 3rd and long.
Man, this defensive line is absolutely hounding Mexico City. They want this safety, and you can feel it. That's 2 plays in a row now where I would say the Aztecs are quite lucky to get out of their own end zone in time here. And 3rd and 17, I mean, do you pass or do you try and play safe and run? Like, I really don't know what the play is here.
It's a run up the middle. Bentley picks up 6. And the Aztecs survive the onslaught from the Toros defense.
And that's probably the right decision there. I think playing it safe and making sure that you don't take the safety is probably a better chance than asking your backup quarterback to try and throw a 17-yard pass to get a first down and avoid taking a safety here. Fort Worth might try and send some heat on this punt block.
Barrett Jr. sends this one away. Angles it. This one will get close to midfield. Stevens shakes one on the return. Stevens left side. Buried there at the 36.
The special teams unit for the Toros has been great. Lily Takai and Kate Stevens now both having very nice returns here. And again, Fort Worth gets to set up with some very advantageous field position. This time they've got to make it count. Marcus Dunhill's got to be able to protect the ball here. You know, that's his 2nd interception of the game. And when you're in these kind of critical short field drive positions, ball security is such an important thing because these are basically free points that you're giving away now at this point. You know, I think if he didn't do that, at the very least, it would be a 20-21 game. And now you could be looking at taking a field goal to take the lead instead of having to take a field goal to just be down by 1.
4-3 look out of the Aztecs defense. Jackson coming on a blitz. Give left side. Bacon wrapped up by Jeffrey Daggs. Able to get 5. Daggs was almost going for the ball, it looked like.
Yeah, but that's a good play by Daggs because he's the last man back there. I think Fort Worth did a really great job of blocking up for that run there. Looked like there was finally some daylight on that outside pitch for basically the first time all game. You know, the defenses have done a good job on these contains, but Jeffrey Daggs is the last man up, and he manages to stand tall and make a nice tackle there on Bacon.
4-4 look here out of the defense. Split back, single receiver, split out. Here's Dunhill looking to throw. Dunhill throws backside, tipped and incomplete. Nice coverage out there by Gerard Brody, working one-on-one on the Cowboy.
Robert Garrett Jr. is distraught right now. You see him kind of waving his arms like, oh my, I can't believe I didn't catch that one. And again, I think that's the second time in a row now where he's been targeted and not been able to reel in what I think is a fairly catchable pass. He's 0 for 3 so far tonight in his targets. I think if you're Marcus Dunhill, you know, at this point you might want to look away from him a little bit.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Need to get to the 26. Dunhill rolls, Dunhill throws, and that is caught. Stevens on the outside will have first down yardage inside the 15 to the 12.
And that's what the rollout is designed to do for you. Again, shortening the field there on your pass and making it a little bit easier to connect there. Dunhill's been really hit or miss on those rollouts. Sometimes, you know, he makes a great pass or he gets out of the pocket and runs for a nice gain. Other times he's throwing across his body into dangerous situations, throwing interceptions, just doing things that really, you know, as a coach, you would say, hey, we don't want you to do these kind of things. We need you to be a little bit smarter with the ball here. So that time, nice play from Dunhill. I'm sure his coaches will be encouraging that kind of play from now on.
I-Pro look here on first down. Flip outside. Bacon buried. Itera with the tackle for loss.
Itera read it again all the way. Again, the secondary has been having fantastic time just watching Dunhill's eyes and being aware of where he's trying to go with the ball there. At this time, you know, they're trying to do a little swing pass to Bacon, get him out, and fool his defense, and instead Itera immediately sees through it and blows that one up.
Twins to the top of the screen for Dunhill. Dunhill fires across the middle, caught and dropped. Incomplete. Minson was fighting for the end zone, and Max Jackson jars it loose. No catch.
And again, the Hall of Famer's having a fantastic game so far tonight. 2 interceptions. And, you know, you might argue that's also an even possibly a bigger play than some of the interceptions. You know, Minson might have had a touchdown at the very least, would go down at the 1 yard line there. And I thought for sure he had a completed catch there. Instead, Jackson able to break that one up again. Nice coverage.
3rd and 11. They can pick up the first down without scoring. Dunhill rolls. Dunhill fires back across the backside. Jackson tips it away.
Again, fantastic coverage. He is really earning every penny of that salary that he gets paid here in Mexico City. And again, you know, when Mexico City's allowed to key in on this passing game, they've done a great job of covering it so far tonight. You know, like, again, double coverage that he's throwing into. And Jackson might argue that he should have had a hat trick there with a 3rd interception of the night. Again, good coverage on Dunhill. And it looks like Fort Worth's going to try and take this field goal and make it a 1-point lead.
31-yard attempt to cut into the 4-point difference that Mexico City is hanging on to with 2.5 to go here in the 3rd. Amelia Rose is on. A little bit of a high snap. Rose with the wind. Got it. 21-20. Fort Worth cuts into the lead.
But again, you take 7 plays to only go 22 yards down the field here. Mexico City, again, they've really shown off so far this game that bend, don't break mentality. And they've done a great job of, you know, whenever they get into the red zone, the defense is seriously stiffened up on them and immediately kind of shut down anything that Fort Worth is trying to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the running game in particular has been so lackluster. It really allows this defense to focus on Marcus Dunhill in the passing game. And when they get down there and the field gets so congested, they're able to really shut him down.
Return here, Jeffrey Daggs out to the 23. A single point separates these two teams in a South Division clash that might just go down to decide who wins the whole dang division. And the backup quarterback, Leary Love, in the game. Jordan Sipe injured if you're just joining us. South of the border here in Estadio Azteca, he is Brandon Walters. I'm Andy Hamilton. 2:28 to go in the 3rd and 10 minutes in the 4th to decide who takes this one away. Split spread, pitch, left side. Bentley has a little bit of room on the edge, and Bentley picks up 7 with a solid run to start this drive.
And that's basically the first time all game that Bentley's had room on the outside there. A nice pitch play from the Aztecs. You send that guy in motion and then pitch out of the split set. You know, usually teams get kind of confused about whether you're going to be running up the middle, which back you're going to be handing it to there. So some nice misdirection, able to get 7 yards here. Finally, again, starting to get some rhythm in that run game.
Give, delayed handoff to Bentley, who spins and is an inch short.
And again, Ray Bentley showing off that power, you know. I thought he was going to go down in the backfield, maybe take a yard loss. Instead, he fights through so much of that contact there. And instead of setting up a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 5, something that puts his backup quarterback in a bad position, instead 3rd and inches now, I really think you're going to see a run here almost for sure, and I think Buford Van Dam could be a very good candidate to get that run.
Morrison and Van Dam are in the backfield. It's a pitch. Morrison, left side. Morrison, Burrows. Morrison
they're not going to give it to him.
They said Gond on the tackle, and if I'm Mexico City, I might grab that red flag myself.
Yeah, get out there and throw that challenge flag. I think for sure you got to try and at least, you got to try and give your quarterback anything. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Ramos Lynn doesn't hesitate, wearing the all-white and the gray pants, and says, give me my first down. That is another challenge. Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com.
This could be an absolutely critical spot here. If they get this first down, it could be huge for maintaining this momentum.
He had to burrow. It was a nice job by Fort Worth to stand him up there. That's Leach, who was... Oh, that ball's close. That's about as close as it gets, but he falls over. I mean, look, that looks like a first down.
It looks like a first down to me too, Andy. I think you got to give it to him there.
They overturn the call, and Mexico City will hang on to their timeout, and they have a first down, it seems.
And that's a huge play. You get to not only maintain the possession, maybe even run a little bit of this clock off here, because when you're in this kind of tight dogfight game with a backup quarterback, you really kind of have to take everything you can get to try and limit Fort Worth's opportunities as much as possible. And also, when you build a drive like this, it means that your defense gets to rest up again, because I think the one thing you really don't want is to constantly be going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and let your own defense get worn down by having to just be on the field so often.
Van Dam will get nothing. Van Dam stood up there. Nice job by the Toros to kind of hold that offensive line back. E.K. Vincent in on the tackle.
And I think that this is the assignment now for the Toros defense. They know that they're going to be trying to lean on this running game here to help out Larry Love as much as possible. So you got to try and shut those runs down here, especially because Larry Love, as we've seen, really likes that deep ball.
Split spread. Love to throw for the 5th time tonight. In relief, Love throws deep down the field, in and out of the hands of the receiver. Spelling was in double coverage and couldn't haul it in, but it hit him in the hands.
Yeah, again, a nice throw from Larry Love. I don't think he can do too much better there in terms of, maybe pick a receiver that's not double covered possibly, but if you're going to throw to a double covered receiver, that's a pretty nice throw there to make. And, I think every single throw Larry Love has made so far has been at least 20 yards down the field. I really love it, gunslinging.
Larry Love trying to make the most of his opportunity here tonight. Van Dam will split out of the backfield. Empty backfield here. Fort Worth bringing 4. Looking down the middle. Incomplete. Overshot. That might have been the worst throw of the night for Love. Terrazas didn't even really have a shot at it.
Yeah, that time I think a couple yards ahead of Noe, just not able to even have a chance really to stretch his arms out there. You saw Van Dam go in motion there, but then on the outside of that trips bunch, he ends up blocking, which is a very interesting setup there. Unfortunately, not able to work for the Aztecs there. Maybe a little bit of a decoy look there for Van Dam instead. Unfortunately, the defense is going to have to come back out on the field and keep doing the fantastic work they've been doing.
K.L. Barrett Jr. going to try and flip this field for the Aztecs. Kick is away, fielded at the 25. Stevens out to the 29, and that is where Marcus Dunhill in this offense comes back out on the field. Dunhill, 43% completion percentage tonight. 1 touchdown, the 2 picks to Max Jackson.
A 42.1 quarterback rating is definitely not something that you want to see on his sheet so far tonight. And unfortunately for him, that's how it's been going for him. And the running game has not really been able to support him. He's still the leading rusher this game, 29 yards on the ground and on 8 carries. Bacon's getting close to him, 28 yards on 10 carries. But, you really need to see some more from this offense.
And Bacon overtakes him with that 7-yard carry there.
Yeah, finally, just trying to get some nice running. Finally, a good run again from Fort Worth. I think that's the first time in about a quarter we've seen a nice run from them that gets probably more than 3 or 4 yards. So good for them for sure, but absolutely now, as you can see, Mexico City is going to load the box up here, try and stuff a run probably.
2nd and 3, play action. Dunhill rolling out. Dunhill now going to run for it. Dunhill with room. Dunhill says, I'm still the leading rusher. 1st and 10.
You read my mind, Andy. I was thinking the same thing. He sees Jay-Z take the lead in the rushing battle, and he says, no, I want that rushing title. Marcus Dunhill is going to be the leading rusher in this game. And he gets down the field there. Max Jackson almost laid the wood on him there just in time on the slide, but a nice run for him. He's near 50 yards on the ground now running the ball. He's done really well to use his legs in situations where the pass has really not been able to be available.
3 up, 3 down. Mexico City hanging on to a 1-point lead over the Fort Worth Toros. The South Division has a tough battle and 1 quarter to go. We'll pause for identification and be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back here in Mexico, Brandon Walters along with Andy Hamilton, Ramos Lynn, and Joshua Durr in the stat truck. Cameron Irvine producing behind the scenes. Lots of 12s up in the chat. 10 minutes on the clock. A single point splitting these two teams. Fort Worth with the football. Marcus Dunhill under center to start this 4th quarter of action. Dunhill drops, flips out. Bacon picks up 4.
That's a great play there. I really love the design there from the Toros coaching staff. You know, the running game has really struggled to get going this entire game here. So take a little swing pass to JZ Bacon, get that defense dropping off into the pass coverage there, have those safeties thinking pass deep, and instead go underneath there. Let JZ Bacon do the work with the yards after catch. Great play call.
Split jokers. Dunhill, quick drop, quick throw. Hacker caught, tackled underneath. 3rd and a yard upcoming.
And again, they're looking underneath the short pass there, letting the receivers do most of the work. I really like it, you know, getting this short little rhythm here. Keep the field short, stay ahead of the chains. Now 3rd and 1. Pretty sure that you're going to try a run here. Maybe, you know, play action. They've been liking that so far tonight, especially those play action bootleg rollouts.
Bacon and Alexander in the backfield along with Dunhill. Dunhill rolls out. Dunhill's got room. Dunhill tucks. Dunhill across the 30. Dunhill hit by Jackson, but not before moving the chains.
Yeah, that time Max Jackson was not going to be denied a hit on Marcus Dunhill there. But again, like I was just saying, the play action bootleg, they really like that to get out of the field there. And again, Dunhill's got open space on that outside there. I'm really surprised Mexico City has not tried to anchor some kind of a quarterback spy, maybe run some contained rushes on the outside there with your D linemen. They've gotten a lot of pressure on Dunhill so far tonight as well. I think you really need to see some more of that if they want to try and stiffen up here. But again, getting close to the red zone where Mexico City's defense has been elite tonight.
Dunhill, short drop, stands in, throws, and completes across the middle. Stephen Hacker has another grab. That's his 7th of the night.
And that's what you're looking for over the middle of the field. You know, that's kind of been the area of emphasis for this passing attack here. And this time you get them spread out in the zone coverage there. The linebackers kind of split out on those underneath. And there's no one there really in the middle of the field directly to challenge that kind of pass. Dunhill sees and makes the right read. And that's a nice throw there for him. Now you're really getting close to the end zone here, but you got to try and contend with this very fierce defense.
Dunhill dropping again, fires backside, tipped away, incomplete. Nice chance at it for Gerard Brody. He was looking for Minson.
Yeah, Minson, I don't even know if he saw it really. I don't think he turned around for it. I mean, that pass was deflected there by Brody, but I think Minson still had a shot at it maybe if he turns around and kind of just tries to maybe get a little bit of a jump ball there. Unfortunate not to get much more of a look at that one there. And instead, 2nd and 10 here, Dunhill setting up, probably going to have to try and find some kind of pass here if they want this first down.
4-3 look out of Mexico City. Jackson on the blitz. They'll pitch it out, and nice tackle in open space there by Brody.
A nice job from the fullback, Aaron Alexander, to roll over and get a little bit more yardage there on that catch, but still, tough one there. They were ready for the swing pass that time. It worked the first time with Bacon, not that time with the fullback, and instead 3rd and 9 here against a pass defense that has been so stingy down here in the deep red zone. Really going to have to take a fantastic throw from Dunhill to get this one.
36th throw of the night if Dunhill takes it. He fires backside, tipped away. Itera could have picked it off, and it falls out of his hands, and it's 4th down, Fort Worth.
You needed the perfect throw, and that was not the perfect throw. Hacker was blanketed there. Double coverage again that he's throwing into. Itera and Dags there, and Itera really unlucky to not get an interception. Fort Worth here still going to probably kick this field goal and go up for the lead here, barring something crazy, but really unlucky for Mexico City to not get another interception there. Dunhill's going to have to be so much more careful in this. He just keeps making these very, very risky throws.
Amelia Rose on after those risky throws to try and take the lead. Kick up on the way. Got it. 23-21. Fort Worth on top after a 10-play, 60-yard drive.
And this is the problem for Mexico City, though. Now you're going to have to rely on that offense. Larry Love's going to have to come out here and put together a drive that can get them at least in field goal range to take this lead back. And from what we've seen so far tonight, it is possible. You know, he's been slinging the ball downfield very well. You know, not able to complete necessarily all the passes, but I think the accuracy and the power that he's been displaying so far has most part been very good.
Can Larry Love write his own story and showcase that he is a name to be reckoned with? He's going to have to do it here right now. 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to help bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. Larry Love trying to find the right track to back his story tonight. And on 1st and 10, he'll start from the 26, 7:36 to go. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts. Jason Bartley rolling down to the bottom of the screen. On 1st down, 4-4 look out of Fort Worth. They'll roll and give to Van Dam, and E.K. Vincent has seen that a couple times. Stops him for 2. Let's send it to Cameron Irvine in the truck for a game break. Cam?
Thanks, Andy. Wild one in Denver. Cyrus Jive hits his receiver in the end zone. That's Terrell Cooper for the score. Portland wins 34-27. Denver 532 yards of offense in a loss. Back to you.
Thanks, Cam. Wow, 500 yards of offense. Not what we're seeing tonight, Brandon. These defenses have come to play. It's just a 4-yard run for Ray Bentley. It brings up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Both offenses have been clamped for the most part this game, especially Mexico City. I think, obviously, you can excuse that a little bit considering they have a backup quarterback in for about half the game here. But a nice run from Bentley, 3rd and 4 here. Pretty short distance. I think Love can try a little bit more of an underneath pass.
Love to throw. Doesn't need the underneath pass. He's got the deep catch. Jason Bartley. First grab of the night as Love connects with Bartley for 1st down yardage.
Man, Andy, I love this guy. I got to tell you, Larry Love is making a big fan out of me right now. I love the gumption to sit here on a 3rd and 4 and say, you know what? I'm going down the middle of the field, 15 yards, and I'm going to complete this pass, keep this drive moving here. You know, it might only be 15 minutes of fame for the backup quarterback, but he's making the most of it so far.
1st down and 10. Aztecs moving on this drive. Give. Van Dam shakes 1 and will get 2 more yards. 2nd and 8.
Unfortunate for Van Dam. I thought he had a lot more room there. The offensive line did a good job pancaking a couple of those interior defensive linemen for the Toros, but unfortunately, Buford's not able to really get too far with that. I think his foot got caught up on someone there that was down on the ground, and instead only getting 2 yards.
2 tight ends on the field. They give it again. Bentley right up the gut. Bentley shakes.
Ooh.
Bentley bakes, and he's got 6 more. 3rd and 2 upcoming.
Yeah, nice run from Bentley there. That's what you're going to need to see for this Mexico City team if they want to continue this drive here because, you know, Fort Worth is probably going to be keying in on that run, bringing a lot of guys in, crowded boxes, letting the linebackers really go ham on these gaps here. And you're going to have to see Ray Bentley break a lot of tackles if he want to get yards in that kind of situation. He's done well so far tonight, though, with that.
Van Dam and Morrison in the backfield. They'll give. Morrison run up the middle. Morrison! 1st down, moves the chains. Aztecs drive continues.
And the offensive line has really stepped up on this drive here. They know what the deal is here with Larry Love in this running game. They need to be able to get yards on the ground consistently, and they've been able to do it on this drive so far, especially the guards in the center have done a really great job pushing out and immediately getting gaps, especially the A gaps have been open on these last few.
1st and 10. Bartley going to move from the bottom to the top, giving chase there is Adam Leach. Man coverage out of the Toros here. Under 5 to play in the 4th. Give. Oh, shut down. Nothing doing there. Sunny Sky read it like a book on a shelf.
Wow, Sunny Sky, fantastic play there. For a second season linebacker, that's a great play to make there on the outside. And again, we've seen it over the course of this game. The contain game has really shut down some of these runs. We haven't seen it for very often in the second half, but there's another really big one there.
Larry Love back to throw, stands in the middle, fires down the middle. Larry David, Larry Zonka, Larry King, Larry Bird. How about Larry Love?
Doug Spelling finally gets his first catch of the game on his 4th target there. And that's a great one over the middle again. Larry Love standing in the pocket, getting some nice protection, going deep into double coverage. And this time Doug Spelling's able to come up with it. It's really just fantastic work from Love to really work the middle of that field deep there. These safeties are coming up on the passes, but they're just not in time.
4 of 8 for 87 yards and 89.1 QBR for Larry Love in relief of Jordan Sipe. First down from the 28. Love fires another completion down this right side, inside the 10. It's 1st and goal.
And this time, Noe Terrazas gets the ball. Larry Love's doing a good job also of spreading the ball around here. A lot of the receivers are getting involved here. And really, I have to say, he's done a fantastic job. He's got a higher completion percentage than either Marcus Dunhill or Jordan Sipe in this game. Really great job from Larry Love to keep this drive moving here. Now you got a 1st and goal situation here. You can at least try and lean on the run game, maybe get you a little bit closer here. But his arm power is so good, he might be able to fit it into a really tight window here if the window is right for him.
1st and goal, pitch out, right side, Bentley, sumo wrestled to the ground. 2nd down and goal, Leach on the tackle.
Yeah, Adam Leach there with a great tackle. Cornerbacks in run coverage is such a tough thing for them to do because it's not what you normally ask of them, The cornerbacks typically are light, nimble guys. They're not usually able to bring down these big running backs. And when you get a tackle for loss like that, that's huge.
Love looking to throw. Love buried in the backfield. John Nevels comes and says the backup may not be doing it tonight.
Yeah, Nevels with a nice sack there. This time, finally, Fort Worth is able to bring some of that pressure on the right side with an unbalanced front rush. You saw you have 4 guys coming in on that right side of the center there, and this time Nevels is able to get around the line before the guard's really able to track him down properly. Love takes a big hit there. Thankfully, doesn't fumble the ball, but now 3rd and goal, long distance. Really, I think you just have to not turn the ball over here. Take a field goal and trust in your defense to keep that 1-point lead going because they've been playing, for the most part, very, very well so far tonight.
In a stadium named after one of the best quarterbacks in SFL history. Can the backup make some magic? He throws underneath and it's caught a yard shy of the end zone. Spelling denied a touchdown right at the doorstep.
Delaney Nash might have made the biggest tackle of this game so far with that one there. Doug Spelling was 1 yard away. If he breaks or shakes off that tackle there, that's a huge touchdown for Larry Love and a big touchdown for the Aztecs in general. Instead, they're going to go with the 18-yard field goal here and take this 1-point lead. Trust in that defense here. They might try and run it down all the way to very close to the 2-minute warning. We'll have to see.
Snap, hold down, kick up and on the way. Got it. The field goal attempt there by Chaz Blackwater is good, and the Aztecs are back out in front.
And a 13-play, 72-yard drive here for the Aztecs. That's exactly what they've needed all game to finally capitalize on the chances that they've had so far this game. I feel like both teams have really struggled to build consistent drives. A lot of the scoring that has happened has taken place on very short fields here. So to be able to finally build a drive from your own end of the field, get all the way down to the 1-yard line, unfortunately not come away with a touchdown, but you still get that field goal. Great job there from Larry Love and the offense. Now you got to rely on this Aztec defense to do what they've been doing and finally get one last stop.
Cher said it best. Do you believe in life after love? Life after love involves Marcus Dunhill and about 2 minutes and all 3 of their timeouts. He's 6 of 10 on his last 10 attempts, and Mexico City's the Aztecs defense is going to try and shut him down.
Yeah, but look at that. 2 of those passes, 19 and 16 yards. If you take those away, he's only thrown for about 9 yards on 4 completions out of his last 10. So 2 really big hitters, but other than that, he's really struggled to get the ball down the field anywhere.
Split spread look, nickel out of the defense. They will start with a run, left side, Bacon. Bacon with some good blocking, and he is wrestled down, but not before he picks up 11.
It's a really nice run for Bacon there. Definitely his best of the night so far tonight. And finally, really coming in clutch at a time where you need to get some help from Marcus Dunhill because he's kind of struggled so far in the second half, especially, I feel, to really get the ball down the field to his receivers in the right positions here. Now you're going to go to the 2-minute warning here with a little bit of that momentum.
2 to play, 1 single point. The difference in this one. Mexico City on top, Fort Worth with a drive on offense to try and take the lead. Don't go anywhere. It's the SFL. Brandon Walters, Andy Hamilton, Joshua Durr, and Ramos Lynn in the stats truck. Cameron Irvine behind the scenes. Twins formation for Dunhill. Short drop, quick throw, incomplete! Dan Tritz in coverage on E.J. Minson.
Can you believe that? A defensive tackle getting out there and making a big play in the past defense game here. And Marcus Dunhill has been so careless with the ball, especially in the second half. You got to take better care of the ball and make these open throws. Don't try and force these things because this Aztecs defense will capitalize. I'm telling you, I can feel it.
He's completing 45% of his throws tonight. He wants it all. Deep down the middle, it's caught! Cade Stevens inside the 40 of the Aztecs.
There it is. Cade Stevens has been a big player so far in this game. Not usually someone who gets too many targets on this offense. You know, Minson and Hacker usually get the focus, but he's been big on special teams, and now with the reception there, big one in between two Aztecs defenders, just settles right into the soft spot in that coverage, gets a big catch there, and now, you know, Marcus Dunhill's across midfield. You probably need about 15 more yards to consider it a safe field goal range.
Split spread, nickel look. Dunhill rolls. Dunhill fires, throws over the extended arm of the defender and completes. Ryan could not make the deflection. Hacker hauls it in for 9.
Ryan's probably wishing that he was wearing high heels, because I think if he's about 2 inches taller on that field right now, that would be a tip pass, and instead Hacker manages to get a very nice catch there. 2nd and 1. You probably still need about 2 or 3 more yards just to be sure that you can get a nice field goal here. But no timeouts are being called. The time is running down here. Mexico City might have to really start watching that clock here in a second.
Dunhill under center will roll out. Dunhill, weird looking play. Dunhill's going to scramble. Dunhill with the block. 15, 10, 5. Marcus Magic Dunhill has a touchdown and may have just stolen all the love from this stadium.
Wow. Mexico City is silent right now. It looked like I can't tell if that was like an intended shovel pass or what that was there, but Charlie Baker with a fantastic job to get out there and block Maracay Terra there. And then Marcus Dunhill takes off and scores a touchdown. He's still the leading rusher on this team, and he's doing a fantastic job here to seal potentially a win here. Larry Love's going to have a chance to move the ball down the field here, but at the last second, you know, they've struggled to pass the ball so much. They get the legs of Marcus Dunhill again.
Up by 5, they're going for 2 to try and extend this to a full 7. Handoff left side.
He's got it.
They roll in with the backup. A huge touchdown for Ray Jackson.
Ray Jackson getting involved. Backups everywhere. You know, Larry Love on the Aztecs, and now Ray Jackson for the Toros gets the 2-point conversion, and now it's a full 7-point game here, so that's big. If Mexico City does manage to get down the field and score a touchdown, they would go to overtime instead of the game just being over here. But now you're looking at Larry Love's got about 50 seconds or so and 3 timeouts to try and make something happen. Can the backup, who's been slinging it down the field all game, get a touchdown for the Aztecs?
Morrison will take a knee, and it'll be 80 yards between Larry Love and immortality for this Mexico City Aztecs franchise. A quarterback is on the name of the stadium. Jordan Sipe goes down with injury, and the backup waltzes onto the field and goes 6 of 10 for 121 yards. He's playing a Hall of Famer and an MVP who's had 2 rushing touchdowns. Can he come out with the victory? Love fires down the middle, deflected, incomplete.
Yeah, there was a lot of underneath routes there. I think 2 or 3 of the Mexico Aztecs wide receivers were going on like little ins or slants there, drags across the middle of the field, and there was only one route going deep there, and apparently Larry Love loves the deep routes, so you got to try and really get more of those guys going deep, I think. Try and get some one-on-one isolated man coverage.
48 seconds, all 3 timeouts. Split spread, looking to throw. Love fires, almost intercepted. Instead, it falls to the turf. Adam Leach.
Leach with the one-handed pick attempt there, trying to get a little bit fancy to end this game in style for the Toros there. I think you might, if he goes to the sideline, he might get a chewing out by his coaches, you know. Put 2 hands on the ball and try and get that pick, man. Why are you showboating? But unfortunately, Larry Love now, 3rd down and 10. He's got to make something really big happen now.
4 wide, 4-man rush. Love fires. Corner route overthrew the receiver, was looking for Terrazas, who's the leading receiver tonight. It's 4th down and ball game.
Terrazas was so close there. I think he was about a step behind that throw from Love, just trying to lead him away from the coverage a little bit too much there. And I think he was open. If Love puts that on the money, he might have a reception there and potential first down. But now 4th down and 10, and you said it right, the ball game here. Quads look.
3-2 look here out of Fort Worth. They are showing blitz. They're only going to bring 3. Love fires, picked off, intercepted for a game-sealing pick there by Remington James, who scores a touchdown, icing on the cake, and the Aztecs go home empty-handed.
Wow, what a play by Remington James to seal this game there. A nice throw from Love, but a great athletic play from James. Gets a block there, and he gets the pick 6. And now Houston, the objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. The Toros now are going to be coming after you guys for the division lead here in the South. An absolutely massive, massive result for Fort Worth. They continue their streak of dominance here in Mexico City. They're going to move to 4-0 playing the Aztecs here in Mexico, and now they're going to be tied for the South Division lead. This is an absolutely massive game with ramifications for the playoff picture for the entire SFL.
The Toros are indeed on parade here in the South Division. They have taken a 14-point lead, and with Houston falling earlier tonight, the Toros are about to come just that much closer to competing for that top spot. Kick is away. Morrison will bring it off the goal line. Morrison across the 25 to the 31. Well, Brandon, Mexico City was up against it after Jordan Sipe goes down. Larry Love provided quite the spark, but the Aztecs seem to be just a little too much for him.
Yeah, and again, it just comes back to consistency. I think the defense for the Aztecs is probably going to be a little bit peeved because I think they played really well the majority of this game here, gave their team plenty of chances to go out and win this game, but unfortunately for them, the offense was just not able to deliver. A credit to the Fort Worth defense for doing a great job shutting down Sipe, Larry Love for the most part, and especially this running game has really not been too involved.
Love going to keep slinging it. That's all he knows how to do. Spelling has a catch. He'll pick up 7. First time out for the Aztecs.
And unfortunately, I think the Larry Love show is about to be canceled for poor ratings following this game here because he had a chance to get down the field and, potentially write his name into the history books here in Mexico. But unfortunately for him, not able to get it done and get down the field through that crucial pick 6 there that sealed the game. And now just trying to probably play for pride here, maybe audition for a backup job somewhere else around the league or maybe even to keep his spot here in Mexico City.
Love throws outside. Noe Terrazas shakes one. Terrazas across midfield and out of bounds.
A nice play there for Terrazas. He catches the ball there in a bit of a short field and kind of turns up and immediately gets moving quickly there. Nice play from Love. Finally he's starting to take those little shorter throws, but it's a little too late for Larry, unfortunately. Nice play for Terrazas getting to about midfield, I believe, but not going to be too much more happening here, I suspect.
Ignore the Brooks Ballinger graphic. That is Larry Love's fake name on the identification. In case anyone asks, it's certainly Larry Love under center. 1st and 10. 16 seconds to go in the 4th. Love has played quite the game, but Mexico City will look forward to getting Jordan Sipe back in next week. Love fires, corner route caught. Bill Henry, he's been quiet tonight, picks up the first down. Another timeout from Mexico City.
Yeah, another nice throw from Love getting down the field there. Really just trying, I think, to play for pride, put a little bit more tape out there for things they can improve on next week and get his confidence up just a little bit or even get the receivers' confidence up. But, really looking at these schedules coming up here, Fort Worth in particular seems to have a decently easy one. They've got San Diego, Charleston, and Indy coming up in their next 3. They could really go on a run here and get some nice wins going on the board.
Love, deep shot, dunk, caught! Oh! Bartley says we might not be done here in the capital. Touchdown Aztecs, never say die.
Never say die for Larry Love, but I do somehow get the feeling that that's just going to be a little momentary, a little bright spot in the performance there. But I think, he deserves that touchdown for the way he's played so far, coming in relief of Jordan Sipe. I would give that one to him and, tell him he's done a good job so far tonight. I don't think you can ask much more of a backup quarterback to throw for about 190 yards on 10 of 18, a touchdown and an interception. That's a pretty good stat line, all things considered.
Blackwater's kick is up and good. It is a 7-point game. with 4 seconds to go, and Mexico City will line up for the onside kick.
Never say die, Andy. This could this could happen. We may have ridden them off a little bit too quickly here, but it all depends on this onside. They got to get it.
Kick is away, bobbled. Oh, the Toros come up with it. Man, you just for a second just didn't know what was up. Bacon able to corral it, and the Toros are going to save this one.
Yeah, if he didn't get that one, Bacon's bacon might have been cooked, but he does manage to come up with that one on the second bobble there and secures the ball and the win for Fort Worth. They're going to get out of Mexico City with a win, go to 5-2. That's a really big win here, not just for the division, but, potentially for the entire league here in terms of playoff seeding. Mexico City is going to go down to 3-4. Not a great record for them, but they're definitely still in the lower reaches of that playoff hunt right now.
Well, this is going to hurt Dunhill's yards on the rushing. He has 87, now 86 yards. I do love the number 86. Timeout from Mexico City. They want to make sure he doesn't fumble, and they return it for a touchdown.
No, they want to make him lose another yard here on this next kneel down. That's what it is. They're trying to sabotage Dunhill's rushing game. How dare they?
He's still the leading rusher by far. Next closest rusher on Fort Worth has 46 yards. Dunhill, definitely the MVP tonight, has done his share, 204 through the air, 85 now on the ground on 12 attempts, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. Fort Worth survives the Larry Love show and will grab another win against Mexico City and another win here south of the border. What a battle.
Yeah, great game, really. I don't think we could have asked for anything more here. We had so much drama, interceptions, great drives, a backup coming in, a pick 6 to basically seal the game here in the dying moments, and then, that little bit of spark of hope there for Larry Love as he goes down the field and gets a nice touchdown real quick there. Really just a great game overall. But I have to be honest with you, Andy, I cannot believe you're going to give Marcus Dunhill the MVP for this game, because I do agree he played a great game, but 2 interceptions through the air, I think his legs really saved him in terms of the stat line and the impact he had tonight. I got to go with Max Jackson. 6 tackles and 2 interceptions in a game. I got to reward him for that.
Well, for all of us here in the production team and south of the border tonight, we want to thank you for joining us on Sunday Night Action. Keep in mind that there's more action tomorrow night as Cameron Irvine and Mike O'Neill will recap Week 8 before the latest chapter in the Corbin Cup rivalry. Charleston and Carolina at 8:15 Eastern. Cam and Charles are on that call. For Brandon Walters, for Joshua Durr, for Ramos Lynn, I'm Andy Hamilton. Thank you, and we will see you next week.